After the Night King left Kevin's apartment, he got a call from Miss Wilson to tell him about a banquet he needed to attend as a representative of Williams Media. Just stop by at Corwin Tower to pick me up later. At the same moment, Lily had just finished her live broadcast and was walking out of her home studio with a broad smile. It had been 2 weeks since Mighty Moose had tipped her tens of thousands of dollars during her show. Lily had been the only wage earner in the house lately. Now that you're a celebrity, why don't you buy a bigger place? It would be more convenient for your live streams if we had some extra room. I heard that the Salix Leaf Hotel complex that Rachel is managing has just finished some new condos. It's nice, but isn't it a little pricey? Well, let's find out. Less than an hour later, they both arrived at the sales office and saw Rachel waiting for them by the door. Let me show you our condos. A few minutes later, when they got to the condominium area of the property, Lily and Dorothy were amazed. Just as she was about to take Lily and Dorothy to see the rest of the facilities, a limousine pulled up at the entrance. Alan and Susan got out of the car with the help of the driver. Don't you know how expensive this place is? What did you say? Your useless son is still in jail, and you won't be able to live here much longer. Alan, let's go inside. Alan turned around and walked into the building and headed toward their elevator. I want the condo they're staying in. Get someone to chase Kevin's parents out so we can move in. They bought their condo 10 days ago. Why don't you take a look at a different one? They actually live here? How much did they pay? We'll offer more. There's nothing I can do about it. Before the building was complete, I was told to reserve the best unit for Mr. and Mrs. Williams. Who told you to do that? Lily, please don't make things so difficult for me. She was afraid of revealing Kevin's true identity. It was nearly 6 o'clock, and almost all of Chicago's upper crust would soon be arriving at the banquet at the Salix Leaf Hotel. Williams Media had announced that their CEO would be there in person, but what everyone really wanted was to kiss up to the company's CEO. Under the watchful eyes of Brittany and Charity's fans, Kevin guided them through the throng, stopping now and then to exchange a few words with some of the onlookers.
I didn't expect to meet you here, my sweet. Are you so busy these days that you don't have time for me?
The rude man thought that Kevin was just Brittany's bodyguard, so he didn't pay any attention to him.
I told you last time we met that no woman I like can reject me if they want to keep working in the entertainment industry. But you know I can always change my mind if you're willing to change yours.
This infuriated Brittany. Someone should do something about this stray dog.
Don't think that you're just special because you're at Brittany's side. You're just a stinking bodyguard.
Please show more respect, Mr. Booker. You're talking to the CEO of Williams Media.
So what if you're the head of Williams Media? If you know what's good for you, you'll turn Brittany over to me right now. Otherwise, Williams Media will disappear from the entertainment industry in a New York minute. If you have the guts, follow me to the men's room.
No problem. Kevin had been wondering why Brittany was so popular but couldn't get any advertising contracts lately. It was only when he heard Vito threaten her that he understood the source of the problem. Please, Kevin, don't go. Kevin, listen to me. The Booker Phoenix Corporation is very powerful in the entertainment industry. We don't want to start any conflict with them. Before Brittany and Charity could say anything else, Kevin had already headed to the restroom. When he walked through the door, Kevin saw Vito lighting up a cigar. His 2 bodyguards moved in to attack Kevin. Kevin quickly grabbed one of the men by the wrist. When he twisted it, the sound of bones breaking echoed. Kevin tossed him aside and stopped the other man's fist at the same time. Kevin grabbed him and threw him so hard that he flew across the bathroom and slammed into Vito. But as soon as Vito got to his feet, Kevin turned around and kicked him in the gut. Kevin put his foot on Vito's back. Are you having fun yet, Vito?
Williams Media is finished now, and so are you.
He grabbed Vito by the hair and shoved his head into the bowl. What made it worse was that the water had that blue disinfectant in it. Vito struggled desperately to pull his face out of the toilet bowl. Kevin suddenly let go of the man's head and took a step back.
You're a dead man.
Then Kevin grabbed Vito by the collar and pushed his head into the toilet again. While this was going on, Brittany and Charity were anxiously waiting outside the bathroom door. When they heard all the screaming, they were tempted to rush in. The 2 women looked around and opened the men's room door. Mr. Williams, are you okay? But when they saw the scene in the bathroom, their jaws almost dropped to the floor. The 2 women looked around and opened the men's room door. Vito's entire upper body was stained with blue toilet water. Kevin was just standing casually in front of one of the urinals, whistling while he peed. "What the heck are you two doing in here?" Charity and Brittany were stunned. Even though he was facing the other way, they covered their eyes and ran out.
Please let me go. It's all my fault. I won't bother Brittany anymore."
Vito was genuinely afraid for his life. But he had also decided that once he got out of there, he would find a way to destroy Williams Media and make Kevin pay for this beating. Kevin walked out of the men's room. On the way, he accidentally bumped into a woman. "Why don't you watch where you're going?" "Well, didn't you also bump into me? How dare you blame Miss Maya Hughes? She's the most popular celebrity in all of Booker Phoenix." So, the Booker Phoenix Corporation is really that powerful. Just then, Vito limped out of the men's room with some help from his bodyguards. On the way to the exit, he was stopped by Maya. "This of a security guard knocked me over and then said it was my fault."
"Him?"
Vito obviously hadn't gotten over what had just happened in the men's room. "Vito, if you don't throw him out in the street immediately, I'll be too upset to go on stage." Seeing Kevin smile at him, Vito put his hand on Maya's shoulder and walked her over to Kevin.
"Do you know who this person is? This is the CEO of Williams Media. You're messing with the wrong guy. Just hurry up and apologize to Mr. Williams."
She suddenly realized that she'd been insulting someone very important for her career, not just some random security guard. "I'm sorry, sir. I really shouldn't have spoken to you like that. I don't have time for people like you." Kevin walked out of the hotel lobby. A few minutes later, Kevin got to the underground parking garage. Suddenly, he felt someone hit him from behind and he blacked out. A while later, he was surprised to see that he was in handcuffs. He was even more surprised to see Gwen Archer. "Miss Archer, why have you done this? Have you forgotten that I saved your life? It's true that you saved my life, but I also gave you the ingredients that you used for the pill that helped you make so much progress. So as I see it, we're even. As long as our debt is settled, then what am I doing here? My brother sent his men to catch Dalton Steele's wife Miranda, but you stopped them just when they were about to get their hands on her. Dalton's like a brother to me, and your people attacked his wife right in front of me. What was I supposed to do? I expected you to stay out of our affairs." Kevin took a deep breath and focused his energy. The handcuffs burst from his wrists, and Gwen took a few steps back in astonishment. She almost fell to the floor. When she stood up again, Kevin was holding the night dagger to her throat. "How about we make a deal? My brother Dominic told me that you sold him a special pill and then gave another one to Quinn, but I'll bet you still have another one. As long as you give me the pill, I'll pretend that nothing happened today, and I'll guarantee that you can leave here safely." When Dominic had told her about all the progress he'd made with Kevin's help, she was obsessed with getting one of the pills for herself. What she didn't expect was for him to casually pop it in his mouth. "I'm going to kill you. Remember, if you kill me, you won't be able to get any other herbal medicine." He grabbed a bowl from the table, and after spending all that time with his mentor, the Night King, concocting a pill for Gwen Archer would be a piece of cake. Gwen swallowed the pill without any hesitation at all. "Kevin, I want to ask you to teach me herbal medicine. As long as I can learn how to concoct pills, you can ask me to do anything. Give me some time to think about it. Can I leave now?" "Of course." Kevin looked at Gwen thoughtfully before walking out the door. He suddenly had an idea. If he could unite all the rich and powerful families in Chicago and build his own power base, he could turn the entire city into his personal territory, a kind of empire. As he was walking toward his building, he suddenly ducked into an alley. "Who are you?" The man abruptly stung him in the neck. In less than 3 seconds, Kevin closed his eyes and fell to the ground. When Kevin woke up, he was in a daze. Soon, he spotted a sign in the hallway. Written in red and black letters, he saw the words, "The Alliance." "Since you're awake, you should come with me to see my wife." The man led Kevin outside. As he entered the main hall, Kevin saw a woman sitting in an enormous chair. "Do you know why I invited you here?" "I have no idea. I called you here to ask you something very important. Did you save a few women from the myriads recently?" I let them go because I knew they were in the Sideros Alliance, which is connected to you, and I was concerned with their safety. But you may not have known that they were candidates for promotion to the position of administrator in the Alliance. They're very important to us. That's why I had you brought here. I'd like to reward you. Kevin was unsure what would happen when he was led in front of the Alliance's director. From what I've heard about your current skill level, you show great promise as an apothecary. So I've decided to give you the title of messenger in our alliance. A man suddenly stood up. He was the Sergeant-at-Arms King, one of the Alliance's 4 kings.
I would like you to reconsider. The messenger's position is extremely important to us. We can't let a newcomer take on the role.
Kevin saved our administrator candidates and has made great contributions to our alliance. Besides that, his mentor is the Night King. Do you still think that he isn't qualified?
Since Kevin is the Night King's pupil, I naturally have no objections.
Kevin, come with me. As dozens of people watched, Kevin followed the director's assistants through a large door. What do you have in mind? A month ago, we received news that some of our rival organizations plan to set up a school for the natural healing arts in Chicago. On the surface, it looks like a school to help nurture talented young people, but in reality, it's an attempt to squash our alliance. This is a diabolical plan. Rest assured that as long as I'm still breathing, I won't let them succeed. I was concerned that you wouldn't be willing to attend the school's new campus, but I'm not worried about that anymore. What? You want me to be a spy? I know that this is a difficult request, but it's the best time for you to make a contribution that would convince everyone that you're worthy of your new post as messenger. For you to complete the mission smoothly, I've prepared a secret manual for you. It's in the box on your left. Kevin agreed. He opened the box and took out the manual. Kevin was surprised to see that there was also a blood-red pill in the box. This is called the condensation pill. It helps to keep your internal energy from being unstable, which can be very dangerous. Kevin was willing to take a chance. Without even thinking, he swallowed the medicinal pill in one gulp. His face suddenly felt like it was on fire. This isn't the condensation pill. Lily, who had just finished her live broadcast, was lying on the bed when her phone vibrated. It was a message from one of her fans. Are you busy? Do you have time to go out to eat tomorrow? How about after my show tomorrow afternoon? How about the Salix Leaf Hotel tomorrow evening at 6? No problem. After a while, Kevin gradually came back to his senses. I understand what the pill did to you last night, so I'm willing to let it go. But you should be smart enough to know that this is just between the two of us. If you say a word about this, your entire family will regret that you were ever born. Don't worry, Madam Director. Our secret will never leave this room. When Kevin returned to Chicago, it was already past 7 o'clock in the evening. As soon as he got back to his condo, he got a call from Miranda Steele. Kevin, come down to downtown General right away. Someone just beat Dalton up. Kevin arrived at the hospital within an hour. Dalton was in a coma, and his entire body was covered with blood-stained bandages. Who did this? While we were eating at the Salix Leaf Hotel this evening, we saw Lily having dinner with a man. But then we saw him secretly put something in Lily's glass while she was in the bathroom. Dalton couldn't hold in his temper anymore. He wanted to force Lily to leave, but the man immediately stood up to stop him. They got into a fight, and Dalton asked me to call for help. By the time I got back to the hotel, Dalton had been left in the street half dead. Now that he knew what had happened, Kevin got a determined look on his face and pulled out his phone to call Rachel. Kevin, what's going on? Do you know what happened at the hotel this evening? The man who was having dinner with Lily this evening was Nolan Hill from the Hill family in Detroit. I understand, Kevin said as he started to call Lily on the phone. So, you're out of prison? Do you know that because of your gullibility, Dalton almost lost his life? He's still in a coma. Listen, Kevin, we're finished. I have my own life now. Don't call me again. While this was going on, Lily was in a luxurious private room at the Salix Leaf Hotel. Nolan Hill was sitting beside her. I'm so lucky that Dr. Spaulding came to dinner this evening. Not long ago, Dr. Spaulding's family had developed a very powerful medicinal pill. That's why Nolan had invited him over to the hotel.
How could I refuse an invitation from such a good friend?
I heard that you may have access to a medicinal pill that could help me get past a sticking point in my training. I wonder what I might have to do to get one.
How could I let a few medicinal pills get in the way of our friendship? It's just that I've been alone for quite a while. Would you be willing to let me spend some time with this beautiful creature?
What did you say? I'd like you to spend the night with Dr. Spaulding. I've spent a lot of money on you. How about if you return the favor?
Let me go, Lily said as she struggled to turn around. Then she gave Dr. Spaulding a slap on the cheek.
I didn't expect you to have so much fire. It just so happens that I like women with passion. I find it exciting.
Let me go right now.
Just then, the door burst open with a powerful kick.
Who the hell are you?
Kevin, please save me.
So you're the famous Kevin I've heard so much about. Was Dalton Steele a friend of yours? I'm pleased to tell you that he's done for. He'll never cause anyone any problems for the rest of his miserable life. And you're Nolan? Now that you know who I am, why don't you get the hell out of here? Not only will I not get the hell out of here, but I also have news for you. You'll never get out of Chicago safe and sound. You think you can stop me? Nolan sneered. Then he snapped his fingers and a dozen bodyguards entered the suite from the adjoining room. Is that all you've got? Kevin said as he turned his head and shouted at his people in the hall. Everyone, come in here. As soon as Kevin finished speaking, a dark wave of people rushed into the room. They were all members of the Myriads. Capture all of them. Take them all and throw them into the lake. In less than a minute, Nolan was lying on the floor, pressing his hand on the wound on his shoulder. His bodyguards had been beaten until they were half dead. Dr. Spaulding, on the other hand, was lying in a corner, barely breathing. Don't let this get out of hand. You've gotten the wrong idea. Lily and I are just good friends. My brother is still lying in the hospital and hasn't come out of his coma yet. And you have the nerve to tell me not to let this get out of hand? After he left the room, Kevin headed to the Salix Leaf Hotel's underground garage. By now, Lily was already waiting for him there.
Kevin, please don't go. I admit I was wrong, but I couldn't help it. I was banished from the Jones family and had no choice but to find work. The online show was all I could find. If Nolan hadn't given me all that money, I never would have met with him.
How much did he pay you? I'll bet it wasn't even a tenth of what I gave you.
How could you give me any money? Didn't you get locked up because you'd beat someone up? Didn't you just get out of jail today?
Is one of your online fans called Mighty Moose? Lily was stunned when she heard that. Could her top admirer have been Kevin?
I was wrong. I was really wrong. Please don't leave me.
We've been married for all these years, but you have no idea what I've been secretly doing for you. I ordered Williams Media to give you Brittany's account, and it was me who told Tyler Dawn to give you the Jones family's majority shares. I even bought you the Dream Lover necklace you wanted so much, but what have you done for me? Since you said that we're finished, let's leave it that way. 3 days later, Dalton's skin was starting to heal. Although his life had been saved, the doctor was sure that he would never be able to walk again for the rest of his life.
Do you want some more soup?
I'm full. Honey, do you think Kevin's the one who paralyzed Nolan?
I'm sure of it.
I never expected Kevin to be so ruthless. Who would have thought he had it in him to beat someone so savagely?
Just as Miranda was about to reply, Kevin pushed open the door and walked into the room.
Kevin, did you just get out of a coal mine?
Don't worry about me right now. Hurry up and swallow this pill. Dalton didn't say a thing. He just opened his mouth and swallowed the pill.
Damn you, Kevin. What the heck did you just give me? That's the most bitter thing I've ever tasted.
I know it's bitter, but it will definitely help your recovery. Besides, this pill has a very nice name. It's called the Restoration Pill. By 6 o'clock in the evening, they'd arrived at the Steele family's mansion. Norman Steele sat at the head of the table. Dalton's cousins were also at the table. One of them was Rain Steele and the other was Blanca. I'm sure you'll be completely recovered soon, my boy, and your timing couldn't be better. It just so happens that the Chicago School for the Natural Healing Arts will open in just a few days. I want you to go there with your cousins.
Kevin, do you want to join me?
Are you kidding? I wouldn't miss it for the world. By the way, Dalton, I have something for you. Kevin announced as he reached into his pocket and pulled out an herbal pill.
Kevin, have you been training as an apothecary?
I just dabble in it. Everyone at the table gasped when they heard this, especially Norman, who was very impressed. Dalton, take this pill. Don't take it, Dalton. He may be an apothecary, but just look at how he's dressed. He can't possibly have any skill.
Shut up, Blanca. You have no idea what you're talking about.
So, Kevin, what the hell is this thing?
Hold on. I wonder if you wouldn't mind letting me take a look at it. Be my guest, Kevin said very respectfully. He took the power pill and put it in Norman's hand.
Kevin, is this really a power pill?
Kevin offered Dalton a power pill, but his friend thought that his grandfather needed it more. They kept passing it back and forth, each insisting that the other take it. This should settle your argument, Kevin informed them as he handed a second power pill to Dalton. Dalton and his grandfather didn't have to be told twice. They each took their power pill and swallowed it right away. Has anything unusual happened in the company lately? Everything's going well. Ever since you took care of the problem with Vito Booker, Brittany and Charity were offered a lot of advertising contracts. Now they're our top 2 clients in the city. That's great news. I wonder if you could help me with something. Could you have a few large bowls delivered to my office? Yes, sir. Then Kevin called Mitchell, Cook, and his other friends to ask them to come to his office right away. We hurried over as soon as you called. Is there something important that you need to tell us? Please have a seat first. Have you all recovered from your injuries yet?
Oh, we got over that a long time ago.
I called you guys over here to find out if you're interested in joining me on a path of personal growth that can lead to much greater things. I think you already know we'll stand with you no matter what, but why are you suddenly asking us now? I'm glad to hear that. I have something for you. Do you know what these are? Kevin opened his hand to show them the pills that he just manufactured.
Are those power pills?
That's right, Gilbert. But I only have one request. You must never give them to others, and you can't tell anyone that I gave them to you. When Kevin and Dalton arrived on campus for orientation at the Chicago School of the Healing Arts, they were a little late. Just then, a familiar voice drew his attention away from his distressing thoughts. It was Lily walking up to him and calling his name excitedly. I knew you'd be here. Kevin, please don't be angry with me. I know I messed up, but I promise I'll never do anything like that again.
Hi, Lily. I didn't expect you to be here, too. What a happy coincidence.
Dalton Steele? Are you feeling better now?
I'm doing a lot better. With the help of the pill Kevin gave me, I'm almost fully recovered.
I'm so sorry, Dalton. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have ended up in the hospital.
That's okay. No harm done. Look, I'm back on my feet again.
Please don't be upset with me, Kevin. How can I convince you that I won't make a mistake like this ever again? Suddenly, they heard someone nearby mocking Kevin loudly. Say, isn't that the who's been mooching off the Jones family? Sherwin Blair walked up holding hands with Officer Emmett. Of course. Now you can't sponge off them anymore, can you? Even your wife has been kicked out of the family. How will you ever survive? That's enough, Sherwin. I told you not to start any trouble with Kevin. I can't believe you're still standing up for this trash, Kelly. Anyway, I'm only telling the truth. Well, I'm here to go to school. Do you have a problem with that? Kick me out if you think you can do it. Otherwise, just shut your face. You're so low class. What makes you think you can talk to me like that?
Are you done yet?
Dalton barked as he gave him a hard slap on the face. But Dalton, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking about that Kevin.
Don't you know that Kevin is my brother?
Seeing that Dalton was about to hit Blair again, Kevin stopped him. Let's not get carried away, Dalton. It's beneath our dignity to fight with someone like this. Let's just teach him a little lesson. Just as Blair was getting up again, Kevin gave him a swift kick in the butt, which sent him rolling over and over on the floor. Just as the students settled in, the professor walked into the classroom. Hello, everyone. I'm Professor Grace Murdock, and I'll be your instructor for the next 4 years. The first thing that we need to do is to discuss our rules. There are a lot of very rich students here from some of the city's most prestigious families. That doesn't matter anymore. From now on, you'll only have one identity, and that is the student of the School for the Healing Arts. If you forget that and fall out of line, I'll make sure that you're expelled. What do you mean by fall out of line? If I think my teacher is very good looking, I can ask her out, can't I? What's your name?" "My name is Chase Rogers. Are you free on Friday night?" "The heir to the Chicago hotel chain." "That's me." "Well, Mr. Rogers, you are hereby officially expelled from the School for the Healing Arts." She took Chase's backpack, opened the window, and threw it out. Everyone was stunned when they saw her do this. The look on his face was priceless. "You can pick up your backpack on your way off campus." Professor Murdock's expression didn't change at all. She returned to the podium. "If you listen to me, you'll do well here. I will not put up with any disruptions or lack of respect, either for me or your fellow students. Otherwise, I guarantee that you won't be here very long." Nobody said a word. They just sat quietly, afraid to draw any attention to themselves. "There's one more thing. There was a fight on campus a little while ago. That wasn't the best decision for the first day of school. Do you two still want to pretend it wasn't you? Do you really think it was a good idea to fight on the first day of school? Stand up right now." Kevin got up from his chair sheepishly. He didn't expect Professor Murdock to recognize him in Dalton. Unlike Kevin, Dalton stood up very readily. "I don't care what reason you two have for what you did, it's never right to bring your disagreements onto school property. You won't be expelled, but your punishment is to run 50 laps around the football field."
"I'm not going. I won't even run 50 feet.
As soon as his voice faded, Professor Murdock walked over to the back of the classroom and put her fist through the brick wall without even trying. She brushed off her jacket as she turned to Dalton and asked him again, "Are you sure you wouldn't rather just go for a little run?"
Why did you go along with her, Kevin? This is humiliating. I feel like a little kid."
"We didn't have a choice. Did you see how powerful she was? And do you really want to get kicked out on the first day? You have to look at the bigger picture." Dalton didn't say anything more. He just followed Kevin around and around the field. It only took them about an hour and a half, including the time they took to stretch.
"I can't believe how tired I am."
"Well, it's a good thing you took the power pill after the restoration pill." While they were talking, Lily walked over and smiled at the two of them. Then she offered Kevin and Dalton each a bottle of water. "Come on, get up. Let's go clean up and get something to eat and drink."
"Can't you see that Lily wants to talk to you about something?"
"There's nothing for us to talk about. Even if you don't forgive me right now, I still won't let you go. Do you think you can stop me? Even if I can't stop you, I'll still follow you. If I can't find you at school, then I'll go to Corwin Tower to wait for you. In any case, I'll follow you even to the ends of the earth." Kevin was considering going with her, not because he forgave her, but because if she kept pestering him like this, he'd have a hard time getting anything done. "Okay, I'll go with you." After more than an hour, Kevin pulled into the parking garage under Lily's building. When they got out of the car, Lily took Kevin by the arm. "My place is in this tower. I'll make something delicious for you to eat when we get upstairs." But before they'd gotten very far, a young woman ran over to them in a panic. She kept looking behind her and accidentally bumped into Lily. "Is there something wrong?" Just as the woman was about to answer Kevin, a man and a woman suddenly ran over to them in a hurry.
"What are you running for, Melody? Couldn't you tell I was just joking? Did you have to run so far?"
"Mr. Collins chose you from all the others he could have had. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. You're Rachel's brother?"
"Who do you think you are to bring my sister's name into this?"
"Are you done talking?"
"Shut up. How can you come in here dressed like that and then talk back to me? Just look at you. I'll bet you couldn't even afford to buy a toilet in this place."
"I can't believe how arrogant you are. Aren't you afraid of karma?"
"Why don't you mind your own business? If you know what's good for you, you'll get out of here right now. Otherwise, you may find yourself with a couple of broken legs."
"I'm not really afraid of your empty threats. Why don't you go ahead and break my legs?" Kevin answered back. He didn't want to waste any more time with this guy. Then he turned around and said to Lily, "Call Rachel right away. Tell her that I need her to drop whatever she's doing and come down here." Lily quickly took out her phone and called Rachel. She gave her Kevin's message word for word. The man pulled out his phone and called Rachel too.
"Rachel, someone's bullying me down in the main garage. Send a few of your people to help me deal with him."
"So you're Riley Collins."
"What's it with you? Just look at you in your crappy clothes. What did you think you were going to do with this college student anyway? How about if I teach you a lesson?"
Just as Riley finished speaking, the limousine pulled up next to them, and Rachel hurriedly got out of the car.
How did you get here so quickly, Rachel? This has been bullying me. I want you to have him thrown off the property.
Melody got very upset when she saw Rachel, but to her great surprise, Rachel didn't even look at Riley as she ran up to Kevin and nervously called him boss.
Rachel, what are you doing? Why are you being so polite to this hillbilly?
Suddenly, Rachel slapped her brother in the face. Then she scolded him. What the hell's wrong with you? If he's a hillbilly, what do you think that makes you? I'll deal with you later. I'm sorry, boss. My family has always spoiled him. He had no idea who you were, so I hope you can forgive him. Forgive him? You've got to be kidding. Your brother just said that he wanted to find someone to break my leg.
I'm very sorry, sir. It was all my fault. Please forgive me.
Riley Collins may have been a playboy, but he wasn't obtuse. He could see how afraid his sister was of Kevin, so he figured it was better to not find himself on his bad side. What do you think we should do about this, boss?
Hi, Kevin here. If you are wondering what happens next, then download the Pocket FM app and listen to the exciting episodes of Insta Empire now with the link in the description.